Alright, so these 3 models represent the Warlord options that are in this Verran Army, or Verran Empire list. The names that are in the Verran Empire, those are entirely made up by Dave. So
some name generator, or me just throwing random words together.
Yeah, yeah. So you won't see them as, matching something in Warmachine. But Dave will tell you the Warmachine names that he remembers. Alright, well, let's just kind of start with the center model. That is your generic represents a generic warband leader in this army. Now, but he is a special character.
Yeah, I do not remember the name of it. He was one of the high mages. I remember that. He's not the high mage that makes the immortals in Hordes.
Okay.
But he is a high mage. Yes, their mages are armed with giant two-bladed poles.
Okay. All right. And so yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll cover the stats in a second. All right. So what's this one here?
That is Makeda.
Makeda.
That is the queen.
Okay, and so here you've named her what? Queen Arini.
Arini.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's her kind of backstory?
She's the queen in charge right now.
Okay.
Wait, which backstory? The Horde's backstory.
No, for like Warmachine Horde, where she came from. What was
her? She was just the HBIC.
Okay.
That's her first version. I never got her second version.
Okay.
Because one of the things Warmachine, one of the cool things I liked about Warmachine that I wish more model ranges did to some degree, is as their story progressed and stuff happened to a character, they would make a new model for. I mean, granted, you have to buy a new model for.
Gotcha.
It,
yeah.
But like, when the next guy we get to, he's one of the other. His second version I really, really want, and it would break Darren's mind to put it together.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, she's in charge of the army.
Okay.
She rules the Skorne Empire and wants to kill everybody and make them feel the pain that they do.
So how does this model fit in?
That is what is his name in here?
In here it's General Zathvin.
That is Xerxes.
Xerxes. Okay.
In the lore of Warmachine, I don't know if you know. Warmachine just went through an apocalypse level event, so I don't know. Like, again, my lore is based on what I remember.
Yeah.
But at one point in Warmachine, he got his legs broke. And so to fix this, they mounted him on a dais on top of a giant dinosaur.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, get back out there. They never fixed his legs. That's what he did. Rode this. He was basically stuck to this dinosaur thing and was like, go get him, Tiger.
I might like building that kind of model, but oh well.
No, building the model is fine, but coming up with the stats for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting, because that would not be like a normal hero on a monstrosity, because
it's on.
He couldn't move if the monstrosity's killed. So yeah.
Huge base.
All right, yeah. So here, anyway, these are the 3 Warlord options. Now, the way we approach these is this being the generic leader. It's got a lot of options available. With these other 2s, because they represent specific we'll call named characters, they remain named characters here, and there really aren't a lot of upgrades available to them. So let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. We're going to start with our generic warband leader, because he sets the tone for the rest of the army. All right, so there we go. We have generic warlord leader, and here are bodyguards. Now you take a look at the stats. Essentially, again, these are elves to start with. So I started with just a base elf stat line and built from there. Now, because of the nature of the army, you'll see it across almost the entire line. They definitely get spangly armor, because this is.
They are armored.
They are supposed to be armored, because again, remember, they like to get up close and personal in close combat. Now, this particular weapon, we're interpreting it really as the same as a mace or sword, simply because you're basically almost dual wielding an axe, right? It's not quite a halberd because it's not used the same way. With a halberd, you're using it more at range because you're actually using the leverage of the long staff. If you tried that, you'd probably disembowel yourself with this weapon. So
probably.
Yeah. So we are treating this as basically almost a pair of axes, and hence gave him the frenzied charge going in. But he's just like any other warlord, so he's got his command, his follow, his wound, his tough, and he's got 3 hand-to-hand attacks. And because we're treating this as a sword, that's your +1 or your 1 strike value. Now the only upgrade you can have here is upgrading him to wound 2 and tough 2, just like any other warlord in the game, and add bodyguards. There's not really much, no other direction you can go with him as far as giving him other things. But it keeps you with a, relatively speaking, a lower point value leader compared to some of the other ones that you've got, you're going to see in a second.
Well, he is the same, unless the points have changed.
He's the same as Queen Arene.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's
Yeah.
the same as the Queen. Well, they essentially do the same thing.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, we'll see that in a second. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and we'll talk about her next. Now, being that she is not, she's a named character, she doesn't have she already has the toughness and wound characteristics added in. Oops, sorry, no, wrong one. That was Zephyr. Yeah, so Queen, now she does not have, that's right, I left her as, you can upgrade her to represent kind of her story arc, from when she was just started to when she, her full glory. I didn't want to leave that. So it gives you 2 models for your warband leader as an option. They're pretty much, Queen Arene is almost the same, well, it is this, except for the model, the same exact stats and abilities as the Verran warband leader. But again, if you didn't want to use this model, you had a different model in mind, you have the Verran warband leader instead.
It's more of a, as you have known us, I will say this because we talked about this the other day, it's more of a narrative option for you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's, yeah, we do like to do the narrative kind of thing. So, both of the 2 worlds we just talked about are kind of, they're basically equivalent. They're just 2 different models you could use and create a story around them. But this next one, this one is different. Here's our General Zathvin, and he is
A monster.
yes, and he's designed to be that. He's named. He has no upgrades because he is built with tough 2 and wound 2. He does have 2 big maces, and of course a big mace. It's technically like a massive mace. Is a 2 strike value weapon.
Wow.
Yeah, he doesn't get a strength bonus when he's wielding them during the charge, or during the attack. But that's strike value 2 because that's going to pummel through him, right? Yeah, that's the whole point. And his stat line reflects that. Now his bodyguards, they come with standard swords. You cannot upgrade them because he's big and strong and capable of wielding those heavy weapons. His bodyguards, not so much. Yeah.
Since it's been a while since I've played this one, he has 6 attacks on the charge.
Frenzied charge gives you. Is it just +1?
Oh, it's just
right?
+1, so he has 4. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something else. Berserk, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a +1 attack. So he has 4 attacks on the charge. Well, I should say on the first round of combat when he charges. So, yeah, that's 4 attacks going in with 2 strike value. And when you're charging, so he's got a strength 5. He's just an elf. That's hitting on 6s, 4 shots. You're hitting at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
Strike value 2. You're going to crush through things. But having the 2 wounds and the 2 toughness is really going to help him stay around. Now,
help him make it into the charge. That's the one thing that I have noticed that I remember from playing. And it's I'm not gonna say it's not a design flaw. It's just the way that they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's a flavor of it. Because like if you look like, except for the wizards,
mm-hmm.
the heroes, and I think that's pretty much the way in the game. As far as some of your heroes, they don't have like access to like spears,
right?
And they don't have access to the I just lost track of what
exchange of missiles.
Exchange of missiles. They just have to deal with it.
Right. Yeah. These guys don't. Yeah. So you're right. They do have to get in there now. But again, because they want to be in close combat, you're going to want to, in this army, send other stuff in and follow them up with the Warlord, which kind of heavy hitting in all the dirty work.
That's true.
What the rest of his guys are for, right?
That is true.
So these are the 3 Warlord options you've got. All right, so I call it 3 Warlord options. It really is only 2, given the fact that both of these are just different flavors of the same stat line. If you think of any reason they should be, where the queen should have something else,
No,
we can
because
always.
she was, at least the way, when I've rewritten this army to fit our narrative, she's not fully trained yet.
Gotcha.
She shouldn't have Zevslin's stats, like attack power stuff, because she's still learning,
Yeah, so again, that's why we gave her the option to upgrade the wounds and toughness. All right. Okay, so that's the Warlord set. Stay tuned. Next week we'll go ahead and we're going to cover the magical side of things.